I think we should just do one table, but have 5 chairs around the panel.
We want to be comfortable. We want to have 2.
How are you going to, hard to cross talk? Okay.
No, we'll figure it out.
Okay, we'll figure it out. Okay.
We'll work it out. Okay. Good morning. Happy to be here with this inaugural time when we're involving the community in this research information dissemination opportunity. And I just want to talk a little bit initially about the Clinical and Translational Science Institute, also known as CTSI. I'm a part of the Community Engagement and Research Program. And what CTSI is a collaboration of various institutions doing research, and there are a number of, okay, where do I point?
And you want the next slide?
Okay.
And then you can just point.
Okay. These are the various core areas that the the CTSI programs operate, and the funding is from NIH. It's a very, very large program across the country, and collaboration among the various institutions. Here we're collaborating with UCLA through, in many instances with CTSA, with Irvine, and USC, but there are a number of institutions that are coming to the table on this. And these are some of the areas: workforce development, regulatory is a really big one, looking at how we're overlooking what's going on in research, informatics, and 2 of the areas that I've been involved in are the team science, of which the last presentation I'm on the team with him, working with the little me. And it's very interesting from a community perspective, being able to come in and get an idea of what goes on in the basic science lab, how that affects the community. And once that information is gotten, once the research is conducted and we have good, solid findings, how do you translate that back out to the bedside with the physicians? How do you get that to the community so that they can know what the research is, so that we can, overall, what we're trying to do is to reduce the disparities in our communities. The objectives of the core that I'm working with for community engagement are for health systems change, want to design, develop, evaluate, and disseminate innovations in public and private health systems, and create forums for health system leaders to learn from each other. Sorry, other people's computers. You know. And the second objective is for stakeholder and researcher engagement. And this is a piece that I've been involved in over the last several years, and one of my other community faculty partners in crime here. We've been doing this for a while, working with academia to help each other understand how we operate and to be able to like I said, ultimately help to reduce the disparities eventually. We want to facilitate and study stakeholder participation through equitable partnerships in every phase of research. That means when grants are being written, that the community is involved in the beginning. We're helping to develop the questions that will be asked in the grant, and we help with writing. We help with the, once it's funded, to come in with the implementation, and we help with the analysis, many instances of data that's collected, and we're part of several publications that are coming out because of the research. We want to encourage the formulation and strengthening of teams that include community partners and researchers, provide local and regional data access and analysis for community agencies and researchers, and communication of research results to community audiences. And I kind of talked about those a little bit. And these are opportunities and needs. There is a flyer in your folder, UCLA Community Engagement, CTSI. There's a lot more information on the flyer about what is being done in areas that, if you're interested, you might be able to participate in. We need more participation from mental health and substance use disorder stakeholders. So that would mean how many folks here from treatment providers? Okay. We need more participation on studies. You were hearing a lot of information that's being presented today on research that's going on with substance abuse, and in many of these studies, we can use more assistance from the community in terms of how should the study look, what are the questions that you have, and in recruiting folks to participate in the studies. Stakeholder and researcher engagement, new and establishing the community partners and researchers who help to improve the understanding of the science of part research, similar to the partnership that we have with our team going on with endocrine, the cardiometabolic research is going on with the mice, and to see how things happen with the mice model, and if those might be applicable for humans, that's how we advance ourselves in research. And having community as part of that is proven to be pretty important. And data for the community assists researchers and community partners with access to data if you want to do studies or research yourself. Assist with analysis of your own organization's data. How much data do we have in our programs that we haven't been able to pull together and do an analysis on and publish some papers? We're a wealth of information in our organization. And CTSI is an avenue where you can get assistance in doing that. And CTSI wants to understand what the needs are. Communication about research findings. If you have writers who work on research and they need some of their information translated, that's provided. Just want to make sure that you have this form, this flyer, and that you take a good look at it, because there's a lot of free resources out there, free to us as community, and CTSI really wants to partner with you on it. Thank you.
So where are we
Yeah,
going?
let's do that. Our folks.
Okay. So we're now going to have our very exciting panel discussion using the community to help combat substance abuse, featuring a panel of community experts in substance abuse. Norma, do you want to introduce them? And
Well, actually, they're going to kind of
okay.
two on this side and two over here. Excuse me just a second. No, just more. Yeah, I'm going to stand. Push out on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, get the mic. You can use the speaker's mic. Please, you have your mic already.
Yeah. Okay, we have it. Okay. Is it comfortable now? Turn it. But... Okay. Joining me this morning on the panel are my esteemed colleagues that I've worked with over, it's been close to 30 years for some of us here in the community, providing services for one of the most under-resourced, underserved population and the most needy, not only in California, but probably in the country. First, I'll introduce Ms. Virgie Walker, and as we start the discussion, they'll tell you a little bit more about themselves. She's the CEO and the president of People's Coordinated Services, which has been around a long, long time in the community. And we have Jim Gilmore, better known to us in the field as Jim. He's also been around for quite a while. He's the Chief Operating Officer at Behavioral Services. David Lisenby, Chief Executive Officer of Twin Town Treatment Center, and Maxine Marks, Haven House Addiction Treatment is where she works. So let's just start off. If we start over this way, work across. Tell us a little bit about your background and about your agency. Yeah, with the culture.
Good afternoon, or my name is Gilmore. I'm the GO. CHS has been around for about 45, 46 years. We provide behavioral services to the county of Los Angeles area. We are also a federally qualified health center. We have 3 primary care clinics that operate with us. Substance services, we also have contracts with the health. For the company, we operate withdrawal management, formerly known as DPOP. We offer intensive outpatient prevention services, housing, facility housing, and aftercare services. And we are experiencing, like everybody else, big transformation in terms of how we bring cancer. For years, I suppose most of the contracted services in LA County behavioral health were like social model process, and we're now expected to be a medical model. So there's a big change going on in terms of how we develop programs, how we deliver treatment, and how we build that treatment. So most of us, I think, are experiencing growing.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit more as we go on. Thank you.
I've heard pretty well from people who are in services. Services was founded in 1939. Such these services were started in 1988. We have 3 primary divisions. For substance abuse, we have 2 inpatient facilities. One with a license capacity, which is we have outpatient. Second division is youth and family comprehensive prevention services for the youth and the family, and also the non-work. The third is the convenience services. We have 2 single multi-purpose centers. We have 11 congregate meal sites, and we serve about 500 meals per day on the compound. We serve hundreds more target sites with transportation. We're seeing an increase of our population that actually increases. So those are our 3 divisions.
Thank you.
Kathleen Mark, I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I am part of the College program at UCLA, and we partner with the Office of Trauma and Family for individuals who suffer from family. And I am the clinical lead at Haven Outpatient Center, which is a substance abuse, process, addiction, co-occurring disorder facility. We offer wraparound services and full continuum of care for our clients. We have everywhere from detox, residential treatment, partial hospitalization, substance program. We have a sensitive active care program where we have done a active care plan for our clients who are with state treatment. We have sober apartments, which is a community of individuals who live together in an apartment, and they are a higher level. They are generally, we have, my dogs are in school, they may be in variety for a minimum of 90 days, and they have certain level of accountability. They have to do a 3 times a week, so 2 times a week.
I'm David Elizabeth, CEO of Twintown. Twintown operates 6 outpatient specialized in substance use disorder. We both have around since the 80s. ones West Hollywood and North Hollywood and South Hollywood. One of these ones, Los Alamitos, Orange, CBA. We started in the mid-'80s as solely outpatient health care, residential to their home environment. At that time, because of the huge economic shift, especially in the commercial side of health care, we found that primary outpatient. So I've been doing that 3 years ago. We also applied our medical health services. 40% of our clientele from the public sector. So I have experience with both.
Thank you. And I think we have a pretty broad spectrum of experience for substance abuse treatment in our community, all over Los Angeles and even in some parts of Orange County, and well over probably 150 years of experience among us. So we hope that some of the information that we'll discuss today will be really enlightening for you and as researchers and just as folks that in communities that have a tremendous need for substance treatment. Can you tell me, anybody, this is open season right here, are you seeing any trends or changes over the last few years in your client base? Tell me a little bit about that.
Within the central area, we are, of course, with the AWS programs are about 45% of people. We're also seeing a younger base between the 18 and 20 probably double. We're also seeing an increase in the older base. And where we look at 55 and up, but especially at the 60 and above, like 60, 65. So it's requiring that we have a different type of group, young people with group, we have the age in the group. So it's really requiring us to look at how we have historically done in order to meet the needs.
For us, I think drug of choice is always something random. But I think the most significant change that was our internal clinical services that changed by especially in Orange County. I have to say that my degree is seeing it, but alcohol, now, Orange County is a bit different. Very large increase in and with that, we have this model up until 5 years ago, and still that's sort of the gold standard when it comes to recovery, except for opioid fact that due to fatality of relapse, when somebody gets sober, we push people to maintain buprenorphine during at least either.
We are absolutely seeing an increase in the amount of young individuals who are coming in at a much higher level of acuity than we had before. I think that the growth rates there also related with seeing our younger population in a very vulnerable and difficult place. Often when our clients are coming in, they've had multiple treatment episodes, they've been treatment now, and there's a feeling of hopelessness and treatment fatigue, so there's some resistance to the treatment. I often say to the clients, look, you could sit here and run this group yourself if you could stay sober. But that is one of the
Anything to Jim?
Not really good at alcohol, but one of the things that goes is that the need of our clients is because requires a lot more technical skill and requires a staff, and we need more resources to deal with the different issues. I think the whole trend towards incorporating all the different levels, medical care, primary care, behavioral health care, all of that is a good idea because we might have so many different. So an integrated approach is good. There's been a lot of things mentioned today in terms of what contributes to this process, and I think those things that are being brought up are what really making our job look more.
Sure. Because it is, we have a lot of researchers here. Let's shift gears a little bit, and then we're going to come back to some of the challenges. How does your agency measure clinical quality and effectiveness of the services that you're providing for the clients?
I can start with that. We've been joint commission accredited forever, and always mandated quality improvement. So we measure our engagement when somebody calls to assessment, engagement assessment to engagement without someone else. Measure the retention, do they continue to participate in treatment, completion of the initial phase of treatment, and forward level care. And more recently, probably more significantly than ANPAD, 3 month, 9 month, and 1 year follow-ups. And the problem in the private sector is you either like to answer the phone, answering the phone. And so our samples are pretty shoddy, but we do measure, and again, it's like something report, maybe the next lab to get a structure assessment because you're likely to find it. It's true, but there's a 9-point scale that we measure how well they're doing post-treatment. And that actually takes a job about 15 months from the initial to do longer.
And you have a little money, so
Yeah.
we're going to hear from the other side in just a second. Okay.
I think if we solely measured our success based on a person's ability to maintain continuous variety of treatment, I don't know if I could get up every morning and go to work. I have no advice to say that the single great predictor for relapse is sobriety. So, unfortunately, relapse is very often part of a person's recovery journey. It doesn't have to be, and people that it isn't, but very often it is. And so, what we look at is what happens next. So, what is the depth of the relapse, of the rest of that? What do they do next? And so, when we have the clients who relapse and they reach out to us and they say, hey, I'm going to help, we take that as a sign of success because it means that there's a level of connection that occurs with the client history. And of course, we use all of the evidence-based treatments, EDBT, mindfulness, etc. But we know that our single greatest tool is our clinician ability to connect with a client. So that's
as I mentioned before, the new delivery system that we are now part of requires a QA system to be developed over. We have always done something now. Really kind of our position, the waiver process, demonstration process across the state. So we are kind of having to look at what doesn't work.
Okay. You want to add something?
Pretty much the same, but what we look at is not only completion, but so effective.
And we have a number of physicians probably that are here to go through in another question, and this is going to come in later on when we talk about some of our needs. But what's the role of physician and other medical providers with your treatment program?
Since we are moving to a medical model, we're actually required to have medical practice site. The treatment has to meet medical necessity requirements. The private insurance company or not something to the medical facility like care. They have certain kind of restrictions that they insurance for. So we have physicians on site at least once a day. Each site, we have 15 sites around town. Each site has to make to see
we use the physicians to determine medical. They also determine whether the medically also because there's a resource to staff working with the department. And also they review the physical and the lab work and all that.
Since we are outpatients, since treatment is actually occurring while someone's anticipating therapy and medical treatment, et cetera, in their environment. Our thrust is for to take care of the patients identified, providers, there's therapists, their physicians, their specialists. That's particularly important because if they go to, say, away for treatment and they're home, it's that physician who will sort of carry the ball through the recovery. And sometimes we actually run into a situation where the physician, the community physician gains from our conversations with them. For one thing, not aware of the addictive process. They may not have been aware that benzo that they were prescribing could have been substituted for eye or something along those lines. So by coordinating care, integrating what we do, community-based care, we're not only helping that patient, but we're probably expanding the knowledge and the awareness into the greater community, both mental health, social services.
So our physicians and our psychiatrists are really on board with pre-admission. They help determine whether or not it's appropriate admission, whether or not there's a high level of therapy. They help to contain and support EPOC. Our therapists work hand in hand with each of our physicians to ensure that there's a cohesive team. We each assess separately, but then we collaborate to see if our diagnoses are in alignment.
And because I don't want anybody to have any neck problems, if you can just keep looking at the participant when you respond, because I'm feeling you'll just have to keep doing that, and I know what my neck would be doing about now, so you can relax and do that if you like. We talked about transformation change in LA County. Could I hear from some folks about, talk a little bit about the major changes that have occurred or occurring? James, you started talking about that, primarily over the last 2 years, especially regarding the safety net systems that are rendering treatment in LA County. And since we're in South LA, I want to make sure you highlight, because I want you to see that there possibly could be some differences in what's going on. And they may not be.
I think they're for South LA, I think that substance abuse treatment is a safety net as in I think I go so far as to say that it is critical. With the relation to the drug medical program. I think that community color has some problems historically whereby in making the transition from a social model that has been successful to a medical model with challenges. I think there are some infrastructure issues that have to be done, and extra support, extra resources, and I think that there are challenges there. I think the funding source has done an excellent job doing hard work, but I think that special support community I think that East LA and South Central, and I think also rural areas are the ones that are at greatest risk. When I look at the number of programs in South Central that essentially are in danger of closure, the challenge with getting the medical care, we don't have physicians running into our programs like we work. And I'll give you an example. I sent letters to the market. I didn't get a response. I sent letters to California Hospital, I think it's Dignity. I got a response. We do not have people to deal with substance abuse. And this was only, our contracts required to get an agreement for emergency medical care. And I'm saying, we're dealing with the substance abuse. This is just an event of emergency. They told me in writing, no, I sent that letter to the county and can't do it. You know, we have 2 hospitals in the area. So it's a critical issue that has to be looked at, and it has to be looked at in collaboration, because otherwise, South Central LA, East LA is going to be in greater crisis than we are. Many programs are in danger.
I agree with what Rick said. For programs that have been able to serve both private insurance and public large, this has not been a dramatic change that this program has had. Our agency has done some private insurance work in the past month. Very good. But you're at least familiar with the hoops you have to jump through. And the system, it has changed very much. There were programs in existence even several years ago that are other programs in nature. Because the way they were structured was based on a lack of resources, because nobody wanted to fund those programs. And they did what they could. They were very effective in working with the people they worked with. We're limited. Now we're required to provide an optimal level of care, Most programs can't afford to provide. We're big enough we can, although it's putting quite a strain on that, but we know that there are a lot of small programs who are having extreme difficulty making this change and doing all of the part of the medical model, and they are in danger.
Yeah, I can say something positive. From my vantage point, our increase in all our treatment service was not all commercial. We've always just gotten a referral. Here's how the first question. We used to run about 15 calls uninsured, and if I might praise our former president, I get a huge lion's share of Medi-Cal. And so I think the positive thing is that we have made strides to make sure that coverage. I think the methodology of treatment and how to aid for treatment, et cetera, is causing huge amounts of change. And this is a system that hasn't changed for a few years. So there's painful. So we haven't had to do this. But I think the positive side is the public has spoken, and we see this is a benefit that needs to be provided to everyone. And it's mandated by the DCA. And a few positive things.
All righty. I want to just throw in something here. It's the positive change. We have to make sure that that insurance will pay for the services that are being mandated. We're getting a lot of unfunded mandates to agencies that are already in terrible financial position, staffing in bad positions, because you have to pay people more if you want a higher level of care provided. And so what you would then is my term is the safety net has got gaping holes in it. People, they're falling through now, but the chances of them falling through later are even greater. And then when we have the smaller agencies, those without the capacity to keep up with what's going on, we have those closed. They're affecting the other agencies because guess whose doorstep they're going to be on now? And the hospitals that are reluctant to collaborate with us, guess who's going to be in the emergency room with no case manager to help them get back anywhere afterwards. So we really have to look at systems as a whole, I think, in order to help better our situation. I'm going to go back to the research just a little bit more again. Tell me if your organization has partnered with academic institutions or other research institutions in the past. And if so, tell us a little about what those programs were, what those grants were that you worked on.
We had two research programs at UCLA, and it was a great exchange. I think the process was beautiful. To be honest with you, after all of the work we put into it, I don't recall seeing the result. But it was a great experience. I have so much data. I would love to have graduate students and want to know something about it. The data is just overflowing. None of my staff or myself have the time to put it together and make sense of it.
VHS, over the years, we've worked with a number of research projects with Grant at UCLA, with UC San Diego. So we're pretty familiar. We are very much in support of community-based research. But that's what really everybody needs to get. That's what needs to happen. All the stuff that the academicians come up with, all the stuff that the community knows from their own experience, the stuff that we as providers can bring, only because that's what we can work together to work out some solutions. There's no way to do this. Probably going to get it.
The PCS work, at least two surveys that I did. The first one was we partnered with project, and also we were a part of the RIDGE, providing the community with training relative to dealing with the mild and moderate depression. Another project will be pretty much covered. We can work on this.
Okay, and earlier, Dr. Butler talked about the new residency program that's starting up here, and one of them is going to be in psychiatry. And that hopefully that might mean an opportunity for us to get some assistance in some of our programs. It's worth discussion, I think, going forward. I'd like to open it now to you for questions. What did you always want to know about the community programs and we're afraid to ask? Yes, Trey?
So, hopefully I don't need a microphone. I'll just say it
one thing that, well, I don't want to comment, but I'm going on and I'll say why. And anyone can answer. What is your program perspective on cigarette smoking? How the policy of cigarette smoking at the facility, either among staff or people that use or your clients?
Most of our programs, there is no smoking. Residential programs, we don't allow smoking, outpatient smoking. People that want to smoke, we can't control that outside of the building. That gets us 20 feet from the floor. But we don't allow smoking to others. It's pretty aggressive smoking.
We do not allow any smoking in a building or our pharmacy.
We do. We obviously not inside the building. We have an actual policy that staff is not allowed to smoke with the client. But we actually don't encourage the cessation of smoking in early sobriety, because what we find is that people often go to AA meetings and they congregate outside and they will create community, connection, and fellowship with some people that are one thing at a time.
We're outpatient, working by the city. We also do a lot of education about smoking cessation.
I just wanted to answer that the reason I asked you is your model is more of what I've heard about. I think I'm glad to hear there are people that are encouraging thinking of that. It has been shown help with that.
Yes.
I'm wondering on immigration status and how that ensures any of the programs for how people are not receiving services, subsidies, related services, as of that.
Great question.
My health LA is staff is to provide payment for services for undocumented. That being said, we have a number of opportunities. We have a number of people who are involved in my health. We have a greater number who choose not to be identified. They don't want to be signed up in my head. My health LA, I'll just choose it. So we can't do it. So, as a matter of choice, we have a program in the South Bay where 13, like my place, just go back.
Aziza? 9 at Aziza and environment and impact.
You mentioned abstinence and opiate addiction. I'm curious though if any of the programs are also looking more at harm reduction models and how you want to use people as much as possible. Marijuana use, you can consider the law change, for this program. You feel more use, stopping. So we still looking at everything that people do. That's for the program.
Well, that's not alcohol is legally available anywhere. There's can't think of site for it. The same thing with marijuana. You want to go home and look, that's up to you. I just can't do that here. And we are, providing treatment for folks who have a problem. And find a better choice.
I find the drug choice has some impact on treatment, definitely post-withdrawal syndrome, the use of medication-assisted treatment, but overall, we see addiction is a brain disease, and regardless of the psychoactive substance use, oftentimes people will change the agent. So we actually see marijuana, equivalent to pain, equivalent to alcohol, equivalent to opiate, because it does contribute to cause.
We are an abstinence-based model, so if an individual comes in and they are on Symposium, our physicians help them with the paper. We recognize that there are those individuals who have not been able to maintain sobriety without the use of these substances, and we then give them referrals to other people to support them in that process.
What percentage of the recovery population is populating your enrollment? The recovery population. Your enrollment. The population enrollment was much greater before we could use the transition. But we were dealing directly with the criminal justice system relative. And now we all know this system, we're not getting
Before we came to our programs, that judge mandated them, probably one of my mandated them, started the stop program. So they were just automatically building. With the implementation of the ODS, you have to, number one, you have to be eligible. Number two, you have to have certain necessity for treatment. So it's no longer just the word of the judge. And I'd say that a lot of folks coming in don't have medical necessity. A number of others. I mean, somebody for 10 years hasn't used it. Has used it here, so how do you prove medical necessity?
Yeah, and the money that we used to use for clients, reentry population, undocumented clients that came in, was from block grant funds primarily, and we have no access directly to block grant funds anymore. So that's an issue. That's a big policy issue. One more question from Dr. Bazargan, please. I saw you over there.
I know that you all are center, but I wanted to see what your comment about the hospital population.
Also, reached out into the group that are very difficult to reach. The population that we need, they don't come to your center by themselves, or to reach population.
The outreach efforts, that one.
Yeah.
Yes, we had 4 different contacts with the county to provide these services. So we actually had teams that go out to the river, Harvard, UCLA, up to Skid Row, and the little packages and then we have teams that actually go out and interact with folks out there on the streets and try to get them all people. Looking up, we can provide some people. They will, the officers are going to help them get on Medical, find out. So they work as both case managers to help folks get into treatment.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. It was a great panel. Thank you, Norma, especially for organizing. Please come back at 1 6:30 for this afternoon session. There are posters to look at, booths in the building across the hall, that building. And let's have the trainees go first, then the people like treatment centers, and then the researchers last. Sure.
Thank you. I have a picture for the Foundation.